Fallout New Vegas is the first game in the franchise to introduce companion perks. These perks are ones you obtain from taking people as a companion, obviously, and some companions have other perks as well that can be unlocked by doing specific companion quests. So in today's video, I'm going to figure out which companion in Fallout New Vegas has the best perk, and I'll rank all of them against each other. Let's get to it. So for starters, there are a total of 8 companions to look at, all with their own distinct perks. So let's start alphabetically and take a look at Arcade Gannon. Gannon provides the perk Better Healing, which does exactly what it says. The perk will allow the player to regain 20% more health from all consumable sources. This includes food, drink, and stim packs. So this perk pairs well with couriers who have some points in survival. Overall, there isn't really much else to say about this perk, as it's pretty self-explanatory, so for now, we'll just put it in the number 1 spot, and we'll see where it holds up as we get to some more perks. Next, we have Boone. Boone's perk is called Spotter. The Spotter perk will highlight hostile targets whenever the player is aiming. So this perk's definitely one of the weaker ones, and provides a pretty meaningless advantage. I guess it can kinda help with sniping from a far distance, but besides that, this perk isn't very great, and we're just gonna put it below Arcade Gannon, and I'm sure it'll keep falling down the order as we continue on. Next, we move on to the Whiskey Rose perk given by Cass. This perk will negate all negative effects of alcohol and alcohol addiction, and provide bonus damage threshold when drinking whiskey or wasteland tequila. If you combine this companion perk with Old World Gourmet perk, you can heal just off of alcohol immensely with no negative effects. But even on its own, this companion perk isn't too bad. Alcohol will provide some nice charisma and strength effects with no drawback to intelligence, and you get to tank some more bullets as damage threshold increases to 2 to 6 with whiskey and 3 to 9 with tequila, depending on your survival skill. Overall, I'm going to put this perk above Boone, and she also has 2 other perks that can be acquired after doing some quests, but these only benefit her stats, so we'll come back to this later. For our 4th perk, we have Enhanced Sensors from Eddie. Enhanced Sensors will allow detection of enemies from a very far range, and enemies that are cloaked can be targeted in VATS. Once again, we have another Spotting perk, but this one's definitely a little better than Boone's. Being able to see enemies on the compass is okay, and being able to target enemies like Nightkin who are cloaked is also okay. That's really the only way to describe this perk, is just okay. Its use is very niche and is more of a slight quality of life than anything. We'll put this right above Boone and below Cassidy. Next, we have the Nightkin Lily. She gives us the perk Stealth Girl, which doubles Stealth Boy duration, but more importantly, sneak attack criticals do 10% extra damage. This is huge for stealth builds or sniper builds, and 10% may not sound like much, but when you're already doing an insane amount of damage, 10% of that big number is pretty big. So this perk is basically amazing for anybody using the anti-material rifle, which is most players, to be honest. Overall, that damage is pretty great. It makes this perk the best perk so far in my opinion, ahead of Arcade Gannon. For our 6th perk, we got Regular Maintenance from Raoul. The perk has 2 levels that affect the player, with the 2nd level being called Full Maintenance. Regular Maintenance gives 50% slower conditions of weapon and armor, while Full Maintenance gives 75% slower wear and tear. Automatically, this is the best companion perk so far. Many of the best weapons in the game suffer from poor durability, but as Raoul as a companion, you can make these weapons last much longer, potentially saving thousands of caps and repairs. Raoul does have a 3rd perk, but it only affects himself, so once again, we're going to save that for later. Next up, we got our favorite robot dog, Rex. Rex gives us the Search and Mark perk. The perk highlights chems, weapons, and ammo when zooming in or aiming in with a weapon. I'm starting to notice a theme here with some of these companion perks. This is like the 3rd perk dealing with visibility, and to be honest, it's not very good. I've spent countless hours with Rex as a companion and never find myself using this perk or needing to use this perk. Anytime I do use it, it's by accident. And I go, oh, shit's highlighted green. That's kind of cool. Loot is never really hard to find or see, since it's usually on corpses or in ammunition containers. Weapons are almost always on bodies, and chems are the only thing that this perk may help spot. So overall, this perk is going near the bottom. I'd say it's almost interchangeable with Boone for the worst perk, so I'm just gonna put it slightly above Boone, because I can't do my boy Rex like that. And for our final companion perk, we have Scribe Assistant from Veronica. Scribe Assistant allows you to talk to Veronica and use her as a mobile workshop. Personally, I never find myself using workshops in New Vegas, but I do understand its use, and will take that into consideration when ranking this. Overall, a mobile workshop's decent. If you need energy cells, this perk is pretty awesome. But besides that, this perk has pretty limited use cases. I'll put this above Eddie, but below Cassidy. But you may disagree with me completely depending on your build or playstyle. So there we go, our final list is this. Raoul in first with his amazing maintenance perk, then Lily with her great damage buff, and then Arcade Ganon allowing us to heal better, Cassidy with no drawbacks from alcohol and damage resistant, then Scribe Assistant from Veronica, allowing some nice crafting on the go. Enhanced Sensors from Eddie allowing us to see more enemies, then Rex with his loot spotting, and finally Boone with his highlighted enemies. But wait, there's more. We still have the individual companion perks that only affect the companion themselves. Starting with Raoul, his perk is Old Vaquero, which gives him 33% better rate of fire with revolvers and lever actions. But if you get this perk, you can't have his 75% weapon and armor condition perk, and because of that, Raoul is automatically going in the number 2 spot. Next, we got Veronica, who has 2 perks, but you can only choose one depending on the ending of the companion quest. The first is Bonds of Steel, which gives her 4 damage threshold, and then Costless Rebel, which gives her 150% faster melee attack. I think the 150% faster attack is the better choice, and I'm going to put this perk over Raoul, as 150% seems pretty insane. Next is Rex. He technically has 3 perks for himself, but we can only choose one. Perk we choose is determined by which brain we give him. Ray's brain gives him 25 points of damage, Lupa's brain gives Rex 10 damage threshold, and Violetta's brain gives 50% movement speed. I think the best one here is the 25 points of damage, which will put him at the number 3 spot on the rankings. And finally, we have Cassidy, who has 2 perks, but only one we can obtain. The first gives her an additional 50 hit points, and the second gives 15% more damage with guns. To be honest, both of these options sound equally as good, but both of these are not quite as good as Raoul, with his 33% damage buff. So I'm going to put Cassidy below Raoul and drop Rex to last place. So who has the best individual perk? That would be Veronica, then Raoul, then Cassidy, and finally, my boy Rex. Man, Rex, man, they did your ass dirty in New Vegas, man. It sucks, man. It's alright. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Let me know how bad or good my ranking is, and where you think the perks should rank.